Hey guys, Butler Bulldog Bill here, and I wanted to do a video of a certain college basketball coach that just died over the weekend, Rick Majerus. Rick Majerus had a 25-year coaching career. He spent 3 years at the Marquette Warriors. They were known as the Warriors at the time. From there, he went on to coach the Ball State Cardinals, and for 2 years. Then he went to Utah for 15 years. He had to leave in the middle of his 15th season due to heart problems, and finished up with the St. Louis Billikens. He was there for 5 years. Rick Majerus compiled a career record of 517 wins and 215 losses, and it will always be known as one of those guys that he wasn't able to recruit very well. He wasn't able to land a big-time gig where he could get all these big-name recruits. But with the little guys that he got, with the that don't have the talent that a Big Ten player, an ACC or a Big East player would happen to have, he got a lot out of those guys. And anybody that's ever watched him coach, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Not big-name recruits, but he got them to give more than what they naturally had in them. And that's the sign of a great coach, in my opinion, is being able to get players to give more than the 100% that they already have. Make them give that 110, 125, 200%. And Rick Majerus was able to get that out of all of his players. Another one of the great things about Coach Majerus was that he focused a lot on defense. And he made sure that his teams were some of the best defensive teams in the country. If you noticed in the NCAA tournament last year when he was with St. Louis, the defensive pressure they put on Memphis, the defensive pressure they put on Michigan State, those teams didn't score up to their averages, for the season as far as offense is concerned. St. Louis was just a great defensive team last year. Rick Majerus' teams were always just great defensive teams. They made it hard for the other offenses when they came to play them. So that's another one of the great things about him. And another thing too was his ability to, well, not really his ability, but just the kind of person he was. He made sure that his players went to class. He made sure that they were decent citizens, good guys, good human beings, that, they looked out for one another. There was no I in the team. There was no individuals. They all played unselfishly. And any of his players on the St. Louis team, and most of his players altogether, would tell you that he was a great guy and that they learned so much from him, that they learned how to be gentlemen, and they learned how to be good guys, good human beings, and that he really cared about their futures. And I think that means more than the game of basketball itself. It means more than this whole aspect of college basketball, is getting good guys out of a basketball team and getting them to realize there's more to life than just basketball. The 25 seasons that Rick Majerus was head coach, he never produced a national championship team, but he went to the NCAA tournament, I believe, around half that much, about 12 times or so. About 12 times. He took a St. Louis team last year that hadn't been to the NCAA tournament since 2000, and they went to the NCAA tournament. Not only did they make it, they won their first game, so they made it to the round of 32 before falling to Michigan State, the 1 seed, by 4 points. When he was at Utah, a team that's not a powerhouse, he took them all the way to the national championship game in the 97-98 season. They lost that championship game to Kentucky. When he was with Ball State, the 2 years that he was there, he went to the NCAA tournament the second year, and they lost to number 1 seed UNLV, who went on to win the national championship. But this was the biggest scare for UNLV as far as that run was concerned. Ball State came closer to beating them than any other team in that tournament. And if you look at the final score, you would see exactly what I'm talking about. In his 25 seasons, though, 24 of them either were 500 seasons or better. He only ever had one losing season, and that was in his second to last season at St. Louis. He went 12-19. They had a lot of crap go on that year, players getting in trouble, kicked off the team, and academically ineligible, some of those players. So if those things hadn't happened, he would have been that was out of his control. And if they hadn't happened on his team, then he probably would have had a 25th winning season. But he was 24 out of 25, and that's pretty good. But Rick Majerus was always one of my all-time favorite college basketball coaches. He's kind of one of those guys you can't forget. If you look at him, he was one of the biggest guys on the floor. Everybody knows that. But he was just an awesome coach, and I always loved watching him coach. And he did a great job with whatever school he was at. So, Rick Majerus, you're going to be missed. St. Louis University, I'm really hoping you guys can pull a great season out for him, in his memory. And I hope all you guys just do, have a tremendous year and give it all you've got, because Coach Majerus would want you to. So, anyway, everybody, you guys have a good day.